my goodness, my friends, I'm so excited for today's video. We're doing the last of the 10-part series of the Fun Fab Fairies drawing challenge. This is number 10. I can't believe it. And this is gonna be a two-parter. And I apologize, I was gonna do this same thing for week 7 and then I didn't do it. So I'm doing it this one. I also need to apologize because I promised you my husband was gonna be involved, but he is sick. He has a really bad ear infection, which is really random. So that will be another day. Number 10 is today. We're doing a drawing. I'm gonna be working in an art journal. And then I want to color her in using some graphitined watercolors. I don't do watercoloring on my drawing channel because we're all about drawing skills in here. However, luckily I have a mixed media YouTube channel as well. So then you can meet me over there and I will be using those. I've never tried them before. I'm very curious to see how it's gonna work. I think it's gonna be perfect for the kind of edgy. We're doing an edgy evil fairy this time. We haven't done any evil fairies, and really, and you would know if you followed my podcast, One Scott, One Not, with my best friend Lucy, that fairies really in real life, like the large majority of them are like super dark, man. And we haven't done a dark one. So we're doing a dark evil fairy, plus Halloween is right around the corner, so it's perfect. So we're gonna draw her today. We're gonna watercolor her over on my other channel, so you can watch both. If you want all the references and all the nitty gritty links to supplies, you want the scorecard so you can keep track of all your fairies that you're drawing, go meet me over at awesomeartschool.com where you can enroll in the free classroom. Let's get to work. Okay, inspiration for today's project is coming from this. So I'm completely obsessed with art books, art magazines. I just love art, but I love things in print form. So this is a super cool resource. I bought these before. It's people's sketchbooks, which I am fascinated with. I really love digital, just digital game art styles. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. This link to all this stuff will be in the classroom for you guys. This is the one I'm drawing inspiration from today. It reminds me of a style that I really enjoy, which is drawing in graphite, drawing and shading like completely. So here are some other projects that I've done with this same approach. So you basically draw 100%. These are all, by the way, Celtic Collective projects. It's an art club, membership club over at awesomeartschool.com, the same school that hosts the free classroom that goes along with this series that you're watching right now. But this is a paid art club. And this is a approach, so it's watercolor over like fully rendered drawings in graphite. So this is hot press, so it kind of has one look to it. These two are cold press, which has a lot more texture. You can see the texture coming through, which is very, very different than her texture, which is a lot smoother. So this is hot press paper, which is watercolor paper, so it can accept any wet media, but it's really smooth. It almost feels like Bristol. You should not be using your alcohol markers on it, so don't get excited. Keep watercolor paper for liquid products only, or graphite, but alcohol markers need Bristol, so don't get any ideas. So here's the same thing. This is cold press, so you can see it has a lot more texture to it. And if you can tell, the Celtic Collective, all we do is sort of fairies and fun, fantastical creatures. So it's just lovely. It's also great for mixed media beginners because all the heavy lifting is done in graphite, and then just you can just do like a wash of watercolor and you get this crazy awesome effect. So yeah, I just wanted to just teach you a little bit about that before we get started. I'm working in what the heck is this called? A Strathmore hardcover watercolor paper journal. So I know it can accept the watercolor that I'm going to be adding on top of this. But again, all the heavy lifting will be done in pencil. So the key to this head tilt and is showing like the top of the head. That's where this is going to be important in order to render this crafty looking facial expression. So we'll have to be kind of making sure that we're paying attention to that. I'm trying to think, make sure. Sometimes I look to, I like to put things on specific pages. No, that's fine. Okay, we'll just get started. So I'm actually gonna start weirdly with like a center line down my page because, and this is a big 11 by 14 journal, so I need lots of elbow room to kind of move out here. Just that it's just centering me like emotionally for this head tilt. And then I'm going to kind of put the bottom, her chin is cutie little chin right here. And then so it's like her head, maybe that's what we'll do. I'm gonna lower this already. Put her, because it's like her face oval is one thing. So normally, this is what I'm thinking. So normally you have her, like you have your oval, right? And then your hair is like, comes into the oval and above, like this. But for this project, because we're gonna see her head, it's like we have her oval, and then we're gonna have, instead of coming into the oval part like we normally would, it's gonna all be like above. Like it's gonna be here. And then her face is like tucked up under here. So see the difference between just having a little bit of section? That would be like having a little bit of space between the top of the oval and the top of the hair versus this whole space now is going to be hair. So it's very different in amount, this space versus, whoa, this ginormo space. So that's gonna be the biggest difference between a front-facing face and a head-tilted face, if that makes sense. So I'm going back this way. So I'm gonna say like, I'm gonna actually start with the top of her head and hair, and I'm gonna come down this way. Same thing over here, so I don't forget to like put it in there. So here, and then her hair is gonna come all the way down, and we're actually gonna have some bangs. So I'm just leaving a random space there. I haven't kind of figured out that portion yet. And then we have these kind of bangs, space bangs. Just making, they're almost like really skinny triangles, honestly, is what I'm drawing right here and here. And then her hair comes down on either side. And you can see this kind of creating like a this shape and a this shape. So I've done all of this and I haven't even done her little evil little face yet. So I'm gonna see, I see her bangs are coming down, and then they hit kind of like right at her eye line. And I'm gonna curve the eye line this way, only to remind myself that her head is tilting. So we're gonna have our normal 3 eyes across, but this one is gonna kind of be going uphill this way and kind of uphill this way. Again, because they're like okay, I'm using my foam head. So if she's this way and then we're turning her head down, they kind of are gonna be almost like drawn up and up here at the sides. A little sneaky weaky. I don't know why I'm holding my journal page open. That seems really high maintenance. Okay, and then normally you would like divide that in the chin, but the chin is gonna be, I hate to use the word foreshortened because it freaks people out, but it's gonna be up higher than it normally would. We don't have the actual regular facial proportions because it's away from us. So here's her little chin is actually way up here. And then the sides of her face curve up and up. And then her nose is halfway between. And I like his little simplified nose. Kind of coming up on either side. And then we'll draw parentheses, just to get us started. And then her upper lip is kind of thin. Again, you don't see it actually full on. So it's kind of thinner than normal. And then kind of same thing with the bottom lip because it's, oh, she already looks like scary and I haven't even drawn her eyes yet. And then her neck is kind of comes in here and here. Ooh, I'm getting the chills. When you're freaked out by your own drawing, that's not good. All right. Why is this so terrifying? It is. This looks scary. Okay, so let's go on to the next move. All right, let's draw her eyes in. So I'm gonna start here and we're gonna go up. Remember, they're kind of tilted up because we're slightly evil. And a tip for drawing your eyes like so that they kind of match is I draw, sometimes it's like 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. Like I take turns going line to line to line to line, rather than like doing this whole eye to completion and then this whole eye to completion. And then you're like, that looks nothing like that one. I find personally that just doing it one stroke before moving on to the next one, taking turns just helps. And remember, nobody's eyes are perfectly even, so it's super fine if they don't match. And there's other tricks, like you can use transfer paper and all this stuff, but you got this. You got it. Don't overthink it. My eyes are never the same, and it's like, I just don't even worry about it. It's all good. So we have kind of that and that. Now we have a little small lid over it. Small lid over it, and then, oh yes, we're having our evil eyebrows. Eyebrows are eyebrows are the window to the soul, like more even so than eyes. Oh, look how evil she is now. Yes, Halloween is coming with a veil between the worlds is thin. I know, don't get me started. I'm all about that creepy stuff. Okay, until like I'm faced with it in real person, then I'm like, oh god, it's actually terrifying. Okay, and then we have her eyes, which you notice her eyes are like cut in half. Oh god, I love how evil she is. Her eyes are chopped in half. Okay, yes. Oh, that's a little low. I don't think we actually have eyebrows that start down with our tear ducts. That would be weird. Okay, now I'm switching pencils because we're gonna start our shading. Okay, so I'm just gonna start, remember with the drawings I showed you, we're really like finishing the drawing in pencil. So we're gonna add lots of shading. So I'm just going over, this is, by the way, a Blackwing pencil. Freaking love them so much. The Blackwing is about equivalent to like a 6 or an 8B. So if you just have a soft pencil, you're good to go. You don't need to buy an expensive Blackwing. It's just because I'm obsessed does not mean you have to be obsessed and spend your money. Just a nice hardy soft pencil is basically what this is. All right, so we have that. So I'm just like pushing down a little bit harder. And I do feel like she's gonna need some eyelashes. So again, just using my pencil. I'm gonna like join my parentheses. Also, I don't like that this comes to like a point. But then I'm gonna add some scribbles here and scribbles here. We can get rid of the eyeball in the middle. You always put an eyeball in the middle because you just want to make sure your eyes are actually like spaced appropriately apart. And I'm gonna, again, outline the mouth up and bottom. And then I'm gonna add some more graphite to her little chinny chin, her evil chin. So in here can also be graphited in. That's a word, right? Graphited. And then we're gonna scroll out. And then we're just gonna add some more. I'm just redrawing kind of her bangs. It's good, we don't do a lot of bangs, actually. So I'm just adding some strands, but I am gonna let my watercolors do the heavy lifting for the large areas. I don't need to do it all with my pencil, and that's where using wet media can make things go much faster than just using a pencil. Plus it's freaking really fun. I'm just gonna do, again, I'm just doing like triangles, like little baby triangle, like just drawing the ends of her hairs, really, her hairs. But yeah, I think a lot of misconception about hair is that you have to draw every strand. You really don't, you just have to draw every clump. So hopefully that will help some people. And yeah, we are cruising. So now I'm gonna just take a blending stump. These are the only tools I'm gonna use for this entire project. And my drawing club students, if you're watching this, you know these are my go-to tools. I'm like a broken record with the tools that I use. So I'm gonna go in with this side of my blending stump, and I'm just gonna moosh around some graphite, my friends. That is really the biggest thing you can do to add some shading. You can add some under her nose. I'm not loving her nose, actually. Get rid of the flare on the sides. We can get rid of, but there's her little super creepy mouth. She's so creepy. Oh, I forgot her eyelids. I'll add those in. And if you notice, I didn't even erase, like the other guidelines are just around my page. Oh, and you know what else I really like here that I'm noticing is these under. It's like nothing makes someone a little bit darker than when they have bags under their eyes. Oh, I don't know why that's funny, but it is. It just makes them look, yeah, a little tired, like they're up all night being creepy. I don't think there should be an actual solid line there. I might have to erase some of that. And then her eyes, we can add the shading. Oh, look how gross that looks. She's so scary. And then this. And then kind of up here. And here. By her eyebrows, and then leave like a little spot right there and right there, just have some highlights. And if we don't want this as a solid, oh, now it won't even erase. Nice, nice. It's like permanently etched into the paper. Oh, when all else fails, you just laugh. You know what I'm saying? You just laugh. Who cares? All right, and then, oh, look at her little chin. She's got like a wonky chin. I'm going to turn that wrong line into some shading. So her chin should be like way shaded, and back here is going to be like way black. And then we can take our blending stump, and I'm just going to run it and like make this dirty, basically is what we're doing. Now I do like these highlights that this dude left. So leave yourself an open space in the hair that's not shaded. Okay? Because it's just cool to leave a big highlight. It's still gonna be like this whole space. We can do this whole space. So if you need to erase it out, that's fine. What is gonna knock your socks off is when you head over to the next video when I watercolor, and that video is only gonna be 3 minutes long, because that's about how long it's gonna take me to watercolor this. It's such a fun and easy thing that you can do. Even if you've never watercolored before, like anybody can kind of try their hand at this approach. So I love teaching it to beginners, and my watercolor skills are not stellar, but you can do anything with this little over graphite kind of technique. Sorry, I was just lengthening the bottom of her tresses over here. All right, so drawing this was super short and sweet, and meet me over at the other next video. So there's a rectangle on your screen, there's a circle over here, there's a rectangle right here. Click that rectangle and you can pop over and see what we're gonna do to this to make with the graphite paint set, and we're gonna color her in. I'll meet you over there.